In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Chris Boucher and how he shoots the basketball. He has kind of an awkward shooting form, and it works for him. So let's get down and let's check this out. Okay, so in this first clip, he does a quick jab, one quick dribble towards that left side, pushing off of his right foot. He actually breaks Poku's ankles here, and then he takes a quick step back. He gets set, and it's kind of an awkward shooting form. For one, he's not exactly bending his knees all that much or using his lower back all that much either. However, he is looking at the rim and he is slightly tilted away, same as his hips, from the rim. We also see that he is on his heels on both of his feet. This is actually kind of interesting. He then lifts up his right foot and then he gets onto his toes finally. He gathers the ball at the waist, and then when he basically lifts up into his set point is well above his head, and he doesn't have his shoulder and elbow in line on his shooting hand, and he actually tends to kind of push from both hands at the same exact time, and it actually works for him. This is what I mean by an awkward shooting form. This is different than what most coaches have ever taught. Now, Chris Boucher did start playing basketball at a later age, and when it comes to shooting form, usually when you see that happen, the players who start later usually have a bit awkward of shooting forms sometimes. It's not necessarily always a bad thing, because if it works for that player, why fix it? We can also see in shots like this, where normally you would want to have your shoulders in line with your knees and toes, we actually don't see that here. He basically just has his shoulders in line with his toes. His knees are well out in front. Now, this could be because he's quite a lanky player. He does have very, very long legs versus his upper body, and his arms are actually quite long as well. When he goes up for his shot, however, we still see that those knees are well out in front of him, but now his back is totally straight like a pole down to his actual toes. Again, this is a very interesting shooting form that somehow works for him. When he does release with his elbow well above his forehead, which is going to give him that arc that they need, especially when he's got taller or even stronger defenders who are defending him from the three-point line. He does have a little bit of leg sway as well, which will allow him to get a little bit more power on that shot. Now, when he gets a lot of arc on the shot, he tends to make those shots. However, when he's got an off night, he tends to shoot more forward in his shot, and when that happens, he misses a lot of his shots. That's what's happening actually this year when he's shooting from three. Now, some of his more recent shots, we can see that he's starting to get his body more squared up towards the rim, which is good or bad. However, depending on your situation, it can actually help you sometimes. Now, the reason why I'm saying this could help him is because his elbow is so far out on his shooting hand, even though he's using two hands to shoot that ball. Sometimes, if you're shooting with two hands or you're shooting very similar like Chris Boucher, if you were to straighten your body up a little bit, that could help, because in most cases, if your elbow is pointing out towards that right side, it's going to push that ball left. And then what he's using is his offhand to try to straighten it, and then by squaring up his body, it could even straighten the shot even more. However, this could be why he's missing a lot of his shots this year. However, this is something that he's changed more recently. He's also changed more recently to releasing from one hand as well, instead of releasing from both hands at the same exact time. So there is some improvement there, and there are some changes. If he is changing his shot, that could be why he's shooting less than 30% this year. We can also see it from this clip here, where he's releasing more with the elbow closer to being in line. And now with this slight change, he is releasing lower. However, he's still getting some pretty good arc on that shot, and he's still making those shots. He also has a kind of a soft release. Let's zoom in just a bit. Even though this is a blurry clip, we can kind of see how he has kind of a soft release, and then he kind of pulls his hand back almost right away. We see this when this defender here is trying to block him, but we also see it a few other times as well. Now, I'm not saying to go out and shoot like Chris Boucher. It doesn't work for 99% of the population. However, if you are already shooting like this, these are some quick fixes that you could implement to be able to help yourself shoot better. If this has helped, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out down below. I can actually help you with your shooting form, and I'll see you guys again next time.